Great.
I'm
Great.
glad it is. I'm glad it is.
Me too. Me too.
Welcome, everybody.
I lo- This is a vibe, this little costume of mine. October 29th, Slay
Slay
29.
29. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Friday.
Friday. And you know what that means. We got a little family friendly frights. Right? Family friendly frights to offer up.
Family friendly
That,
frights.
that,
Triple F's.
that could have been executed a little smoother, but whatever. It's what I am for
Fun,
Halloween. I'm a not so smooth criminal
fun, family friendly frights.
for Fridays.
That's a lot. Friday. Fun, family friendly fright Fridays.
Well, I don't know what you're going to pick, but I think my pick's pretty obvious here. Got to go Halloween Town. Because if you haven't watched it yet, now's the time to do so.
Never watched it.
Which, I stand by believing that you would thoroughly enjoy the first Halloween Town. I stand by that. You might be too old to dig it at this point, who knows, but even my mom, like when I was a kid, like she always fucked with Halloween Town too. Like she would always watch it with us every year. Like when it dropped on the old Disney Channel. And
Oh,
it's
man.
it's a staple, man. It's a staple. I watched it. That was one thing I always looked forward to every single year on Disney Channel was Halloween Town coming around. And they dropped some sequels. Halloween Town 2 was lit. Halloween Town High was okay. And then a lot of people, I'm not somebody who's gonna die on the hill of Return to Halloween Town, but a lot of people are not happy about Return to Halloween Town just because they recast the main role of Marnie, which I get it, I get it. None of us liked it, so we all just act like it doesn't exist. But the OG Halloween Town, I mean, just like down to the music, like you hear that little ditty in the background, you're like, oh shit, it's Halloween Town. Fucking the Cromwell family, all of it, just classic, classic, classic stuff. Uh, it's a whole town that's dedicated to Halloween. Shep, it's beautiful.
I don't
They
know,
even
man.
allude to it in Nightmare Before Christmas, Halloween Town. Fucking, it's a thing. But it's where all ghosts and ghouls and goblins and what have you all exist in harmony.
I'm I'm pretty sure Nightmare came out
Oh,
really.
Nightmare definitely came out before. I am sure Halloween Town derived from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Halloween Town's 1998. That is when that dropped. So I would have
Jesus
been 11
Christ.
years old.
1998, huh? I was 4.
Yeah. I was 11 when that dropped, but I don't know how I skated around it.
I couldn't tell you.
It just didn't seem interesting to me when I
Yeah.
was a kid.
Every year when I start hearing people get on their little hocus pocus broomstick about shit, I'm just like, who cares? Who
But you see,
cares? Watch Halloween.
maybe that's why though, because I did not like Hocus Pocus,
Could be. I mean, I
and
don't even know if I've
that
ever actually seen
show
Hocus Pocus in its entirety.
that show looks a lot Hocus Pocusy. You know what I'm saying? When I look at
Yeah.
like pictures from it even now, and when I was a kid, I saw Hocus Pocus in theaters. We've established this. If it came out in the 90s, I probably saw it in the theater uptown. And I was just like, man, like all I remember of Hocus Pocus is I think the cat becomes a dude, Sawyer. And I was like,
I could
all
not
right,
tell you.
now he's baller. Other than that, could give a shit less about that movie. I didn't think it was cool, but
I couldn't tell you. I
Halloween
couldn't
Town,
tell you a thing about Hocus
I
Pocus.
could see why Halloween Town is a classic, but it just, like I said, I feel like it might have just passed me.
It might have. Yeah, I will give you the pass that you just might be too old to enjoy Halloween Town at this point. But genuinely, like I think it's a vibe, dude. Halloween Town is a vibe through and through, and it still holds up to this day. And because it was one of those things where I'd watch it every year, and then Disney Channel quit showing it for a while. But But then we got Disney Plus a couple years ago, and now you can watch it at your leisure at any given fucking time of year. Doesn't even have to be Halloween, but it always slaps more around Halloween. Uh, yeah, it's great.
Maybe I'll check it out.
It's great. So quotable. It's so great.
So for my 29th pick, I picked what is the classic for me that I like to watch no matter the time of the year. And this one was big for me as a kid. This would have been 3 years prior to Halloween Town dropping.
Okay.
Was Casper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Casper, I loved Casper. I thought it was a great movie when I was a kid, and I believe in 1995 as well. We went to Disney World for a family vacation, and at one of the places they had like a whole Casper setup and shit like that. And I remember being a kid being like, "Hell yeah!" Had all the three ghosts and shit like that. You can get your pictures taken by him,
Yeah.
and they had like ketchup and mustard squirting everywhere and shit like that. And it was just really cool. That's just one of those movies that I enjoy. I liked it. The comedy in it was funny. As far as like kid stuff goes, I guess.
You've been on it
Casper
3 days of solid picks.
and Casper really wanted to become a little boy, and then he does.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, need to look this up right quick. If I'm
Might
not
be the
mistaken,
same.
I'm pretty sure the boy who is Casper is the guy from Final Destination and Idle Hands and Chucky.
Yes, I believe. We're just on him this whole week.
I guess it's just been a good one for Devin Sawa, I think is how you say his name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Actually, Casper was a big one for me when I was a kid too. I loved that movie. That was I had it on VHS. I watched it a lot. I fucked with Casper Meets Wendy when that came around. But Casper was great. That was definitely just like, just spooky enough when you're a kid. Like to
Yeah. Oh
enjoy the
yeah.
Halloween vibes, but not be too scared. There were definitely some things in it that were like, kind of maybe made you a little scared as a kid, but it was just enough, you know. I remember having like some computer game for Casper, and I'm sure the story my mother will appreciate here. I had many imaginary friends when I was a kid, but my very first and most important to me was Casper. And I took that shit so seriously. Casper was my G. He went everywhere with me. And I remember when we moved to Tennessee, we were I say I remember this isn't my memory. I was told this. I was told this by my mother. So it was a rememory. But we were looking at houses to possibly purchase in Tennessee to move there, and we had been going around looking at houses, going to open houses all day and shit. And we went somewhere and we left, and I started freaking out. I'm like, we got to go back. We got to go back. We left Casper. We left Casper behind, and I made my parents turn around, go back. We got there. I opened the door, and then I closed it. I'm like, all right, we're good. He's in the car. We can go. Casper, my OG best friend, OG imaginary friend.
Being a parent, I would have been so salty having to go back and do that. I would have been like, yeah, God
I
damn
mean,
it.
you gotta think. I was like
But props to
3
the
or 4
parents
at
for
the
doing
time.
props to the parents for doing that. But like, honestly, Casper, it's a good one. I remember watching the cartoons as a kid, and yeah, like you were saying, I think where it did it for me, because 1995, I would have been 8 years old. So I think where it did it for me was like the three ghosts were kind of scary and mischievous and shit like that. But Casper was always so solid that you're like,
Right.
but Casper's cool ghost. So
Who's
hopefully
like
if
the
I get a
main villain?
ghost,
Like I can't think of his name, but like the green one, you know who I'm talking about?
there was three ghosts.
There's the
The
three
main
ghosts that were his uncles, but then there's the one that's like the big bad guy. You know what I'm talking about? Or maybe that was in later installments. Maybe that wasn't in the original Casper.
Yeah, because the original Casper was like the people trying to buy the house,
Right. Maybe it came later. Because that guy
which
was fucking scary.
it would have been. I don't know.
No,
I believe they become a ghost. Maybe at the end they become ghosts. It's like a lady and a dude, and they're trying to like, because the whole purpose of Casper, I
Kibosh.
believe, the whole purpose of Casper is
Come on. Come on. Can you see him?
a little
No.
bit.
Whatever.
You know, the dad and daughter move in there to solve the ghost problem and get them out of there so they can sell the house
Right.
or find the gold or some shit like that.
Voiced by James Earl Jones.
Earl
I
Jones.
guess it says he's the arch enemy of Casper.
Which movie is he in?
Was that a live action movie? Oh, I guess it was. Casper: A Spirited Beginning. So it was
so
like
Casper. It's
it was one of the sequels, yeah. Is a 1997 direct-to-video film. Yep. It is a prequel / spinoff to the 1995 film Casper. Okay. Yeah, because I was deep into Casper, like, at the time. So I got into
Casper
some
was legit.
stuff. Yeah, Casper was
If you want to
cool.
go find that, it's on Hulu.
Sounds like a great night with your kids. Casper and Halloween Town.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good one to kick off the Halloween
You
weekend.
got if you got that Hulu Disney Plus ESPN Plus combo bundle, it's all there for you.
Boom. There you go. There you go.
Slay 29.
Little family fright night for you.
We're getting
Slay
to the end
29.
of them.
See you next time.
Smooches.